We're gonna need some coffee for this one. Oh my, get rid of my clutter in the background. That's what I love about these videos. You can hide all of your messes, all your clutter. Today, today's video is about quitting my job. I left corporate America a year ago today, and I'm gonna give you an update on where I'm at in life. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Tyler. I'm a self-taught artist in southern Minnesota. I'm hoping to move out of this place soon. One day it's gonna happen. So, done it before, I'll do it again. Anyway, back to my point. I left corporate America in 2024, my last day was February 5th, 2024. And I made the most money I ever have at a job in my life. I was making really good money, but I wasn't fulfilled and I wasn't happy. I reached a point where I was very burnt out. I really struggled with saying no to people, so people picked up on that very quickly. I had a lot of international customers and coworkers and people that were very pushy, and it was just very overstimulating and very overwhelming for me. And I just didn't want to be the bad guy anymore, and I didn't want to be the person who was constantly made out to feel like I wasn't doing a good enough job, and so I quit and I left. And I didn't turn back. So in order to set myself up, I'm not advising anybody does this, I'm just letting you know how I survived. I cashed out my retirement, I stuck it in my savings account, and I did what I knew how to do best, and I put my best foot forward, right? And I was like, well, how am I gonna make this work? How am I gonna make ends meet? And people are like, well, how did you have money? Yeah, I cashed out my retirement, and I did have a savings on top of it. So my initiative or my plan was to sign up for as many art shows as I possibly could. I did about 31 of them between the end of May and the beginning of December. I did about 31 art shows, and I left again feeling very burnt out. It didn't pan out the way I anticipated. I thought that maybe I'd gain some traction, hopefully become at least monetized on YouTube by then. I've been doing YouTube for the last almost a year and a half, I want to say. By the time you're watching this video, it's almost a year and a half since I've been creating content, and very, very continuously and very consistently. I really worked hard at what I'm doing and trying to spread mental health awareness. I'm trying to let my sense of humor out and just authentically be the best version of myself. And even though things didn't turn out the way that I wanted them to, and I'll get to that in a second here, I learned a lot. There was one art show where I kept my stuff overnight, and there were 11 tents that were affected by a storm, and mine was one of them. And I took it very personally, and the reason I did was because I just felt like no matter how hard I tried, no matter what I did, things just weren't working out with my art business. And I was posting on social media, like, as a small business owner, you know what goes into someone else's business a lot of times. But people are like, oh my God, you made, one art show, for instance, oh my God, you made $900, that's a lot of money. Okay, the booth fee was $135. I paid for the materials, I spent the time making the product, and then, not to mention, I leave at like 8:30 in the morning, I wouldn't get home till about midnight. So that's over a 12-hour day, right? It's a long day. It's a very, very, very long day. And it's taxing and it's tiring, and you get a lot of really stupid questions, and a lot of people, they have the audacity to say the dumbest stuff about your art, and they just don't get it. And that's so blunt, but I'm just being honest. And then you connect with the really awesome people who there's a reason why you're there, and there's a reason why they're meant to connect with your art, and they'll share their life story with you, and those are the very humble moments. But there are more dumb questions than there are humble people a lot of times, and as an introvert, a lot of times I struggle in social settings, and that was very hard for me, especially going from working from home and not having to be around people. It was good for me to get out of my house, and I did learn a lot. By the beginning of December of 2024, I did get a job, so I lasted, I don't know, how many months is that? I'm trying to do the math in my head. Like 10 months. Enough to grow a baby, okay? That's how long it lasted. Sorry if you hear the background noise. My furnace is kicking on, and my camera's too old to order mics for it, so it is what it is. We're just gonna make do with what we have, because that's what we've done the whole time. I did get a job as a streamer. Right now I am working full-time. I'm still making videos, trying to stay balanced in my social life, and as much as I felt like a failure, and there's a lot of times where I've cried about it and felt like, what is the meaning of all of this? I wouldn't trade it for the world because I really grew a lot as a person. I learned a lot. I learned what not to do. I learned what display works. I learned what doesn't work. And I learned what works for me, and I learned what maybe I could do differently. It's kind of like this YouTube channel. There's a lot of times where I'll beat myself up and like I should be further than I am. And I had this epiphany like a week ago, and I was like, you know, it was when I was filming the video I made for myself a year ago. If you haven't watched that, watch it. It was posted not too long before this video. I'm looking at my schedule. My schedule's a little all over the place, but I filmed a video for myself in 2024 for 2025, so the year of 2025. That's so confusing. 2025, Tyler. Okay, that's what we're gonna say. The words aren't doing the word things today. And I looked at the quality of my video, and I looked at, you know, my ring light setup, and things were so different in my state of mind. And I know, like, from that moment on, I really realized I did grow a lot as a person. I'm still burnt out. I'm still tired as hell. I'm still a workaholic. I don't think that the workaholism in me is ever gonna die. I've been really hearing that I need to meditate a lot more, but I left corporate America because it wasn't for me. I left corporate America because it wasn't for me. I'm creative, I'm passionate, I'm a thinker, I'm a doer. I make a great employee, but a lot of times all I can ever think about is creating art when I'm not doing art. Even when I'm hanging out with friends, all I can think about is a business idea. All I can think about is what I'm gonna do next. All I can think about is like, okay, well, when I launch the next section of my clothing line, what's that gonna look like? And right now I have a job, for one, so I can pay my bills. I only had like 1 month of savings left. I burned through my entire savings. Just think about burning through about 16 grand during the summer, and your whole savings is just fucking gone. I did rack up some credit card debt again. That's not fun, and it is what it is. I mean, I'm gonna have to learn from it, and right now I have a job to make ends meet. I'm very grateful for the position that I'm at in life. I'm grateful for the job that I have. I get to do a fun job. When I was gonna apply for jobs, I actually ended up applying for the streaming job that I have, and I sent the owners a message, and I was like, hey, my name's Tyler, blah, blah, blah. I told them about myself. Well, the website that I applied on didn't notify me when they sent me a message back, and I didn't see it till like $20 later. Yeah, $20 later. 20 days later, I looked at my messages on that website, and I was like, ah, shit, they messaged me back, and then by then the job posting was closed. And I was really beating myself up about it, and I was like, okay, well, maybe God's gonna pull something through. Like, Jesus, take the wheel on my life, because I'm about to start running out of money. I had 1 month left of savings, and I was just kind of feeling depressed, and it was kind of during the time where it was a long season of art shows, and people were like, you're so lucky, you're self-employed, you got such a break. Bitch, I worked the whole time, okay? I was working the whole time. If I wasn't creating, I was doing an art show. If I wasn't doing an art show, I was filming a video. If I wasn't filming a video, I was editing a video. And this isn't to spread workaholism or to try and prove how hard I work. I'm just saying I work really hard. And so for someone to have the audacity to act like I was sitting on my ass is hilarious to me, because I was not. I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, but to get back to what I was saying, I finally surrendered, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to suck up an office job. So I started applying for them jobs, and that night, I knew it was God, because that night I ended up, they put a new posting. I got a notification, an email saying that they posted another job. And so I messaged them back. I'm like, I'm really sorry, I didn't see your message. The website didn't notify me. And they're like, oh, that's no problem. Went in for my interview, ended up getting the job. Thank the Lord above, because I don't know how I would have made it without a job. I would have figured it out. I always do. I knew I was going to. I had a lot of people in my life like, oh my God, Tyler, what are you gonna do? It's kind of like when I quit my job. Oh my God, Tyler, what are you gonna do? Aren't you scared? What if you run out of money? I'll just get another job. They're a dime a dozen. You can get jobs a dime a dozen. And it was very important for me to get a creative job. I think that out of any job, that this one is the most perfect for me. I'm streaming online, I'm comfortable in front of the camera. They really appreciate their employees. I feel valued there. And right now, it's getting me through the winter months, and I don't know what I'm gonna do next, and I feel like that's okay. Sorry if you have watched my YouTube channel and I feel like I'm repeating myself, because I probably am. But this is for the new people who wanna, strive for a different life for themselves. all the videos that I watched, it was one or the other with quitting your corporate 9 to 5. It was either people, like, it was the best thing that ever happened to them, which was most of the cases, or there were a select few videos that were like, quitting my job ruined my life. It like literally ruined my life. Get another job. As sad as I was that things didn't work out the way that I imagined them in my brain, I got another job. I made ends meet. It wasn't the end of the world. It felt like it was, but it's not the end of the world. And am I struggling with balance and sleeping and eating right? Yes, but I'm really trying my best to stay on top of my mental health. And yeah, I think that this video is basically saying I went for it and it didn't work out the way that I thought it would, and I burned through my savings and that's gone. But at the end of the day, it's money, and I know that there's gonna come a time in my life where I reap the harvest, where all of this hard work is gonna pay off, because all the videos that I filmed before might feel like a waste because I'm not getting paid on this platform, which is fine, because I really enjoy making videos and talking to the camera, and I do this because I like it. And I do this because it's gonna help people one day. And there's gonna come a day where I reap the harvest, where once I get monetized, or once my YouTube channel does blow up and I get a couple, I don't know, at least a couple thousand subscribers. It's not really blowing up, but if I get to the point where I make a decent stream of income from here, all the videos that I filmed before, people are gonna binge watch those and I'm gonna make money off them eventually. It's just gonna take time. It's one of those things, and I think that's why a lot of people quit a lot of times, you know. What I think is crazy is there's times where it's worked for people, and it's like people have more balls than I do. Like, people think that I have balls, but like to quit my job and to pursue my passion, they're like, what are you gonna do? Like, you know, it's not a job. And I got really mocked by my family too, and they're like, so what are you doing now since you don't have a job? And I'm like, well, I will excuse myself out of family events then. I did. I dismissed myself. I walked away from it for a while because I needed a break from the judgment. I forgot where I was going with that. That happens a lot, squirrel brain, ADHD things. But, oh, what I was saying, there's gonna come a day where this does pay off, and consistency pays off, and a lot of times, oh, that's what I was saying. You know, people who like have a business idea, they quit their job and then they just start a business. It's taken me, God, what years is filing my taxes for my business? 3 years? I've had like a business, I have 3 years, and it takes 2 to 3 years to get your business off the ground. They say people have a business idea and quit their job and like dive into it. Hats off to you. You got some balls. But for the longest time, I think it was 1.5 years, I balanced a full-time job on top of content creation and creating art, just like I'm doing now. And there's times where I get really frustrated and emotional, and that's when I know I need to take a seat and sit the hell down and really take a moment to myself and just be like, okay, everything's gonna be okay, because the knots in my shoulder blades are telling the truth at my massage therapist. But yeah, I know that was a long explanation. Things didn't turn out the way that I anticipated them to, and that's completely okay. So if you have a job and maybe you're working a full-time job and sticking all your energy into a dream, there's gonna be a lot of people frustrated with you. I know that there are in my life. They're like, Tyler, you didn't respond and blah, 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 because they're used to me instantly responding, and now I don't, because it's like, you can wait like everybody else does. Like, you gotta take care of yourself first before you can pour the energy into responding to other people. I'm not saying wait a week to respond to someone, but if there's a day or two and it's not an emergency, I think that that's okay. And if people are really meant for you and they want to be in your life, they're gonna understand why you're working so hard towards that dream. So if you got anything out of this video, I hope that it inspires you to not take a back seat in your life. I hope it inspires you to propel forward. And sometimes there's failures, and even though things didn't work out the way I anticipated them to, it's not a failure, it's a learning curve. I learned what works, what doesn't work, and I know what I would do differently now. And it's a constant improvement. It's kind of like my first video. It sucked compared to my videos now. They are better, they have improved. But anyways, I feel like I've rambled for a long time. I hope you got something from this video. I am back at a full-time job, but it's something that is fun for me. It's not an office environment where I feel like I'm staring out the window wishing I was one of those squirrels on the tree. Like, oh God, I want to collect acorns instead of this. But I learned too, money's not everything either. I was a lot happier and more fulfilled making not even 1/3 of what I did at my corporate job. So If you got anything out of this and you feel like giving up, keep fucking going. Keep pursuing your dreams, keep pushing hard. I believe in you, you can do this. And I'm not just pulling this out of my ass because I haven't made it yet either, but I feel like when you have a dream and you believe in something that you love to do so much, one day it's gonna pay off, because that consistency will have a domino effect. And there's gonna come a day for me as well when I'll be like, yes, finally. So I hope you got something out of this video. Until next time, my homages, peace out. I hope you have a great day, week, rest of your week, month. So if I don't see you again, bon voyage. Peace out, homages. Bye.